Hey guys, today we're going to be doing my 2021 wrap-up video. I changed up the scenery here a little bit. I just felt like filming in front of my bookshelves today. um, so basically what I'm going to do is go through like my favorites and like I guess some disappointments in terms of like books, games, music, general media type stuff for the whole year. So I have notes here. So if you see me looking down, that's why. I wanted to start off with going over like my general Goodreads goal and how well I did compared to my goal. I've been pretty straightforward that this year was a bit of a bust in terms of my reading goal. I did not meet my goal. I didn't even come close. We're not quite to the end of the year. I'm probably going to finish the book I'm reading, which will bring me a little over a quarter of the way through my goal. So, anyways, my Goodreads goal, or my number of books to read this year, was 100. Typically, what I do is I set my goal, and then the next year, whatever. So if I exceed my goal, like last year I exceeded my goal. I think it was like 75. I read around 100 books. So then this year I made my goal 100. And then if I exceeded it, I would read whatever that number was or close to it. This year I didn't even come close. It was a freaking crazy year. So yeah, my goal was to read 100 books. And when I finish the current one I'm reading, which I probably will like today or tomorrow, I would have read 30 books. I don't think I'm going to get through another one in a week by the end of the year. So 30 out of 100. That's what I did. Okay, so I wanted to get into some of my favorite books that I read this year, and I'll try to like put them. I have them here, but I just don't want to pull them down. So I will like put them here. So some of my favorite books from this year. First of all, like I think one of the first or second books I read was Addie LaRue, and I freaking loved it. So that was on my top list. Um, I forgot that I actually read this at the beginning of this year, but Gideon the Ninth, I loved it. The second book, eh. Will I continue reading the series? Yes. I'm not ready to give up. The second book was a bit of like it was really confusing, and it wasn't just me. I know this. It wasn't just me. So I loved Gideon the Ninth. The second book, not so much. The next one is not gonna be a big surprise to anybody. I liked A Court of Silver Flames. I think I read it in like 2 days. That's what I do with Sarah J. Maas. Um, and now I'm stuck on Blood and Ash. So, whatever. Um, yes. So the next one is from Blood and Ash. I'm currently almost done with the second book, and I'm like, I have to go out and buy the third book right away because I have to read it. It's the only thing. Fantasy romance this year has been like the only thing I could read like consistently, and it's just a guilty pleasure for me. Like I like it. It's fun. I don't feel stressed out when I read it. And this year that's really what I wanted. I just wanted to read books that I thoroughly enjoyed, and if I wasn't enjoying it, I was ready to fucking give up on reading for the year. So, yeah. And then the last one that I really enjoyed was A Touch of Darkness by Scarlet Sinclair. And then the sequel, and I haven't read the third book or the like Hades side of the story yet. I do have her newest book that just came out, so dying to get to those. And then in terms of manga and comics, I've really been enjoying Die Dark, which is by the same person who made Dorohedoro. And you can tell when you read the manga. I don't know if it takes place in the same universe, but it kind of feels like it. It has like the same exact vibe. But I like it. I'm enjoying that. And then I've been enjoying Solo Leveling. This is something my husband put me onto, but I am very into it now. So, yes, Die Dark, Solo Leveling, very mainstream mangas. I don't care. um, okay, then in terms of music, what I've enjoyed this year is. Oh boy, I have a long list here. Okay, so some of my favorite albums in general, and like I'm just gonna list the artists, but their newest album. The newest Pendulum album was like the jam of my summer. The new Don Broco album, there's some songs on it that I'm like, oh, these are okay, but then there's some that are like, I can listen to this on repeat for months, and I have. The new Churches album, every single song, in my opinion, on that album is fire. And then they came out with like a director's cut, and it's great too. So, the new Royal Blood album is pretty good, and the newest 21 Pilots album is good, in my opinion. Again, another soundtrack of my summer was the 21 Pilots album. Okay, and then I wanted to get into just a little bit of travel. I've been mixing up my content since, like, it's winter and I don't like to go outside in the wintertime. But, so some of my things that I saw or did while traveling. First of all, I have to shout out Donut on a Stick. It's in Duck, North Carolina. They put donuts on sticks. They're fresh baked. And then they put ice cream on top of them. And I'll just try to, like, put a picture of what I got there. I seriously, when we were on vacation at the beach, I ate this, like, 3 times in a week. I don't fucking care what anybody thinks about that, because it's amazing. And the guy that owns the business is from, like, the same area I'm from, so that was really cool. So, yeah, if you're in that area, if you're vacationing in the Outer Banks, definitely check it out, because this place is cool. The owners are cool. They have, like, a whole bunch of retro candy and stuff in there, too. So, if you're into that stuff. Okay, and then another highlight of my travel, obviously, was the Smoky Mountains. I did not have, like, astronomically high expectations, but I was blown away. In fact, I would say my expectations were kind of low. So, I am close to the Appalachian area, like the Blue Ridge area. If you don't know, I live in Northern Virginia. So, yeah, you know, we have, like, the Appalachian and, like, Blue Ridge area here. And it's beautiful. It's my home. I love it. But I was kind of expecting that level of mountains and beauty and stuff. Like, I don't know, East Coast mountains, I feel like I kind of expect them to be somewhat the same. But honestly, the Smoky Mountains blew me the fuck away. Particularly Tennessee. I was thinking it was going to be like, you know, country, farms, flat. I don't know why I thought that. But the part, eastern Tennessee that we were in, like the Gatlinburg area, is so beautiful. I was blown away. I don't know what else to say. If you get a chance to visit the Smoky Mountain National Park, please do it. It's so cool. The hikes are great. There's just, it's beautiful. And then the last thing that was one of my favorite things from traveling, was the tiny house we stayed at. It's an Airbnb. I don't think I did a video on it in particular. It's in my Asheville video, which I'll, like, you know, put up here or whatever. But, yeah, so we stayed in a tiny house, and the owner of the Airbnb is really cool. He also does campsites. If you're interested, he is outside the Asheville area in Hendersonville. I will try to put the listing for the Airbnb below. I'm pretty sure it's in the original travel vlog, but, you know, it's really cool. It was a really cool experience. Well worth the money we paid, because we went a little bit ham with, like, the accommodations, you can say, instead of going, like, on the cheaper side. But it was definitely a splurge. I was very glad we did. It, you know, if you've ever wondered, could I live full-time in a tiny house and be okay? Definitely try staying at one, because it's an interesting experience. And the area this is in is, like, again, very beautiful. Very close to Pisgah National Park and DuPont Forest, or it's like DuPont State Forest. It's, like, right across the street from there. So, yeah. Then I have a couple things listed for, like, shit I bought for my house that's just my favorite, and I wanted to just be like, hey, if you're looking for this kind of thing, check this out. So 2 things. My Ikea greenhouse cabinet, which you could see in my most recent plant tour video, my, like, plant wrap-up for this year. So that was one of my favorite things I bought. I've wanted one of those for years, but we didn't really have the space. So I'm really glad I got to get it. And I'm hoping to do a little bit more work on it this upcoming year, but we'll see. I'm okay with the way it looks. And then the other thing is our coffee table. And I have told other people this, and they're like, really? A coffee table? Yeah. So, Dustin and I, we are eat in front of the TV kind of people. And if you are eat dinner in front of the TV kind of people, I highly recommend that you get a coffee table that has the top that lifts and comes toward you. Because it's basically like having those like TV dinner trays that like older people used to use, but like coffee table. Plus you can store things inside, and usually there's like, ours has 2 drawers on the bottom. You can store things too. So really recommend it. I love our coffee table. It's definitely like the best thing we've bought for this house. All right, now I wanted to get into some not so favorite things, some like disappointments, some things that I was hoping I would like and ended up not liking. We'll start with books, since that's what everybody is here for. I already talked about it. I didn't like Harrow the Ninth. I think I ended up rating it like 2 or 2.5 stars on Goodreads, which basically is like, I finished this, and it wasn't the worst thing I read, but I don't want to read this a second time ever in my fucking life. That's how I felt about it. It was definitely a slog to get through. The book put me in a slump. It was a little bit painful to read at times. Yeah, but I love the characters, so I'm going to continue the series. And then getting into 2 authors that I tried out this year that are very beloved, especially among the fantasy community, and I'm probably going to get some shit for this, but I tried reading the Farseer Trilogy by Robin Hobb. I read the first book. I DNF'd it, I think, a little over 50% of the way through. I didn't hate it, but I'm not going to read any more Robin Hobb. I don't know. It was maybe just the writing style and the pacing. I don't know. The book was a little depressing, but I know it's supposed to be. Like, it's not a happy story. So, yeah. Robin Hobb. I give up. The second author that I tried out, and also probably more beloved than Robin Hobb, was Joe Abercrombie. Again, I wasn't a fan. What did I read? Before They Were Hanged? Yeah. What is that, the First Law trilogy? I don't know. Whatever it's called. Yeah, I read the first book in the series there. I wanted to like it so much, but maybe Grimdark is not for me. I've started to wonder. I have a couple other series, like Grimdark series, that I wanted to try out, but like, I don't know if that series by Robin Hobb is technically like grimdark. It's just depressing. It's kind of like an underdog story, but like with very little redemption. So I don't know if that's considered grimdark, but if it is, then I think maybe that's a genre that's not actually for me that I thought would be. I know Joe Abercrombie is really beloved for his grimdark fantasy, and I don't know, man. I think the problem with that one was that there were characters in the story that I cared about a lot, and then there was some that I like absolutely, I didn't even want to read their chapters. I just like absolutely did not fucking care. And that was frustrating. I really wanted to like that series, but I just didn't. That's all I have to say about that. So then I have highlights listed here. So I already went over our cross-state trip in North Carolina. That was probably like the highlight of my whole year. The Smoky Mountains are like the highlight of that highlight. I would say like all the house renovations we did have been a highlight. Finally feeling like we've settled in, and I feel like I can go into 2022 not having to do like a ton of renovations. Inside at least. Yeah, I'm feeling good about the way the house is now. One thing I like haven't showed because it wasn't done in my house tour. Well, I don't think I showed the kitchen because I painted the cabinets in the walls in the kitchen, and then we painted the bathroom, and I don't know what's the word. I used like a spin brush. It attaches to a drill. You can find them on Amazon and like stuff like that. It's like a brush that you put in a drill, and it spins it really fast, like so you don't have to scrub with like manually. And I use that along with like some diluted bleach and tile cleaner to like restore. That restore is the word. To restore our tile floor because we have subway tile in our bathroom. Yeah, so I did that like yesterday, and now the bathroom looks amazing. We painted our bathroom black. It was a risky choice, and it turned out very well. It's one of those things where everybody, like my office, when I painted it purple, I told everybody I was going to paint it purple, and they were like, oh, that's really purple. Are you sure it's not going to look weird? And then when it's done, everybody walks in here and goes, oh my god, this room looks amazing. And that's kind of how the bathroom is. Everybody was like, are you sure you want to do black? And I'm like, yeah, I really want to paint the bathroom black. And we did, and then everybody saw pictures of it and said, well, it looks amazing. So it definitely made it feel like really modern. Yeah, and then the last big highlight of my year was getting June. My dog. Yeah, Juniper, my dog. Who was out in the living room, and I'm trying to get her to come down here, but she won't. Yeah, but it was not a highlight going through heartworm treatment with a cattle dog. That's really difficult. I feel for anybody who has a high energy dog and has to go through something like that where they have to be on exercise restriction for like 3 to 4 months. And as a result, we didn't really get to do a lot with her this year, but next year we're going to go on lots of hikes and we're going to go lots of ventures, and we might get a second dog next year, but that's up to my husband. We have a lot happening next year aside from like fun things. So lastly, I wanted to talk about some expectations in terms of me and this channel for 2022. As of right now, my schedule for uploading... Oh, here comes Miss Juniper. Hello, please don't bump my stuff. Oh, okay, she has to lay on my notes. Cool. Okay, whatever. So my upload schedule right now is Saturday around noon. I'm uploading once a week. I was going to try to do twice a week and kind of figured that's not sustainable for me. So right now we're just going to do once a week, Saturdays. Yeah. You can find me over on Instagram. I have 2 right now. I have like a book focused one and then an Animal Crossing one. I'm probably going to be doing more Animal Crossing content. I might do some Minecraft content or just general gaming content, but like I'm a cozy gamer, so it's going to be very casual. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a lot of plant content in the coming years, mostly for I'm struggling to figure out what to do in terms of that. I like showing people my plants and stuff like that, and I'm happy to answer questions and help people, but I don't really have a drive to do care videos. I think there are plenty of great resources already on YouTube that have a variety of care videos for plants. So I'll probably show some of our garden renovations we do this spring, because we are going to be focusing on the landscaping and the gardening outside. I really want to build my gardens up a bit more. So I'll probably show some of that. If we do any big projects in the house, I'll probably show some of that. In terms of travel goals, we do want to travel this upcoming year. I don't know where yet. I don't know when, and I don't know how much. Yeah, so I'm going to continue into 2022 making book content, gaming content, and like some just like vlog lifestyle kind of content. I am perfectly happy doing that. That's what I've been really enjoying. I am going to do a separate video on my 2022 like goals and things like that, so look out for that. It is coming very soon. I'm going to talk a little bit more about what to expect in terms of booktube for me in that video. Yeah, so more of the same, probably less plant content because I'm feeling burnt out on it. And it's just I'm going to kind of roll the plant content into like my vlogs and my lifestyle stuff, and have less focus on that. I am very excited to do a ton of hiking this upcoming year. So yeah. Anyways, guys, let me know what you thought down in the comments, and if you felt similarly or strongly differently than I did about any of the stuff I mentioned in this video. And I hope you have a good holiday season and a wonderful new year. And I will see you guys in 2022. Bye.